Hello, everybody. Hello. We have sudden Aaron Dicer, Commodore.
Sudden Aaron.
In the chair. There was a mix-up in the transporter room. I was supposed to lock onto the ambassador, and instead I completely turned her into a new person. This is actually still Danae, just in a Aaron suit.
I am so mad right now. I mean, it was interesting for the first few minutes. You know,
Tell me the differences between being Danae and Aaron.
There's this whole thing going on downstairs that I'm not used to. I've been really excited about this day. So I've been drinking lots of water.
Oh.
Waiting for the chance.
Yeah.
Waiting for the chance.
How is that going to affect your bigger feet? What does water have to do with your feet?
You may be misunderstanding me.
No, I hope
not.
not.
But it does have something to do.
Amazing. Hello, everybody on Twitch. Hello, Paulie, the Frank Reporter on YouTube, Stephen on YouTube. Hello, Handquake. Eights on Twitch, Zinc Stoked, JCD, Express Gaming on YouTube. Hello, everybody. I hope we're doing okay. Yes, there was some dueling sounds, JCD, on the music front. I had to switch some buttons around. And that involved some scrolling, and I did not scroll quick enough.
Yeah. The scrolling is always trouble. You never want to have to scroll.
Yeah, that sucks. No, there's not going to be a 2Vix moment. Although I would like to see Aaron and Danae as one organism.
You know, wouldn't we all? You know, the thing about scrolling is that, you know, Marvel's going to be doing a lot of it with Secret Wars coming up.
Sorry. Do you get that, people? Scrolling, because scroll.
Because scroll sounds like
Scrolls.
scroll.
There we go. We go. Did we do a show live for 1 week and we already broke Danae? I didn't. You people did. You did. We do one live show and you broke
Always
Danae.
Passing the blame. Always passing the blame.
So, if you were here for last week's live show, we did episode 1. We're going to confuse you now and do episode 3 because we separately recorded episode 2 and released that on Saturday. So you had 2 episodes last week so that we could get caught up and do it all weekly. And I got cut up for the amount we had to record to get that done.
So this is only confusing if you watch the live show, right? Like if you're just listening to the podcast, if you're listening to this on the podcast,
yes.
You're not confused.
However, this bit is going to be in the outtakes, so this bit may not even be in the show.
That's right.
I'm just explaining to everyone live.
Got it.
Okay, so this is only confusing if you are only watching on Twitch. So if you don't consume the podcast any other way other than Twitch, you'll be wondering why we skipped episode 2. But we didn't go and download the podcast like a regular human being and listen to us that way. But, yes. So throughout the show, we'll do pretty much what we did last week. So send us any questions that you want. It'd be nice to get some specific Aaron questions as well that are, I guess, Star Trek related. They don't have to be, but Star Trek related in general. And we will do a little bit of a Twitch question answer thing at the end of the show.
And also for those watching, just so it's clear, I'm going to reach over here.
This is his hand.
See, we are in the same room.
My location has changed. Interestingly, when I transported Danae here, not only did I get Aaron, I moved myself somehow to Aaron's location.
It's amazing. Transporters, how do they work?
And how do they work? Is it better to watch on YouTube or Twitch? No difference. It just depends. I mean, you can interact with us exactly the same way.
I tell you what, I think we're moving people towards Twitch because it's more specifically for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like YouTube is, you know, where a lot of stuff lives. But if YouTube is easier for you to watch, it's the same show. Yeah. Like, you know, so yeah, either place is fine.
There's probably going to be a larger crowd on Twitch, so there'll be more people to interact with, in theory. But yeah, whatever you find easier. But yeah. And speaking of which, sudden Danae. Danae.
Remember when I said I was going to leave on the next ship?
It's kind of awkwardly happened. We didn't actually plan that, but interesting how she managed to get around my transporter lock. I don't know. I assumed she was just gone. But we do have something coming in on Subspace. But we literally didn't plan it. She just unfortunately can't be here this week.
But this follows Danae through this podcast. Anything she says comes true. So, you know, that's just, you know,
managing
you just
to
have
predict
to
her own
be careful.
departure.
It's a lot of responsibility for Danae to have that power. So, yeah.
I mean, what is she going to predict next? What is it going to be that she will actually make come true?
Or
Manifest.
Manifest. Which is it?
Interesting. Okay, I think unless there's anything else we need to vent out of the wherever we vent the things out of, let's get into the show. Bum, 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 bum. I still have all of the notes from last week. This is amazing. This doesn't help. Oh, I don't know what that
just
button
happened
does.
to pick the music.
Oh no, I don't want that button. There we go. Okay, button off. Cool, no more buttons. Blah, blah, blah. Right, okay. Welcome to 10 Forward, the part of the show where we grab a drink from the replicator and share our immediate thoughts and feelings on the episode we just watched together. Most important question first, what is your beverage of choice, Ambassador? Commodore.
Thank you.
He just reads whatever's on the prompt.
No. Listen, I have been the ambassador for a while, or the commodore. You see the commodore or the ambassador?
No, commodore.
I'm going with some cinnamon schnapps, and I'm not going to pour it into my eyes.
Which is strange because I have tied your arms into that position
Yes,
where you can't get to them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just have some water. I'm going to be boring. Unless you can liquefy one of those dream crystals and make it into a juice drink that I can then control my dreams over, because I never remember my dreams.
Interesting.
That would be nice.
I wonder what would happen if you ground that up and put it in a smoothie, in one of those rocks.
I guarantee that people are snorting that stuff. There's no way those crystals exist and people aren't smoking them, snorting them, or imbibing them in some fashion.
Or having sex with them. Everything serves a purpose. Yes.
Hey, if you put a blue Andorian in front of me, I'm going to be having thoughts about that.
Wait, is the Andorian... we're not into it yet, but I have to ask. The Andorian at one point when she's talking about something, being excited about something, her antenna kiss each other. Is that something the Andorian do, or was that just a little animation fun piece of... I
don't know about the kissing specifically, but they do move around.
Yeah, her antenna definitely were like smooching above her head.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, no, not something... I don't know if they get entangled.
Okay, I wondered if it was just like a little wink, like a winky, with like even her antenna are trying to be sensual.
I think that's exactly what it was. Yeah, I think that's it. But it's one of my favorite things in Enterprise when there's a recurring Andorian, and however he's feeling is given away by his antennas. And when he's sad, they're a little bit droopy, and then he's excited and they go up.
Yeah. It's like a puppy dog with a tail.
Little puppy dog. Yeah. I love it. Yes, so this week, the crew of the Cerritos team up with another California-class ship to deal with a diplomatic snafu, or the aftermath of a diplomatic snafu between some Survey team people and an alien species of rocks, and shenanigans happen because they have stumbled across some crystals that bring your dreams, nightmares, and everything to life. And
the rocks are just designed or exist to bring your fantasies to reality. But then once they're broken, then the other things happen. So.
And other things happen on top of that.
Yes.
So initial thoughts, feelings, emotions, enjoyability. What were your thoughts on this episode, Aaron?
I love everything about Lower Decks. I could watch any Lower Decks episode and have a good time. Because here's the thing, like even if the plot or the story or whatever isn't, making sense or engaging to me,
which they know it isn't.
I'm just so enamored by the humor. And I just, it's just a lot of fun. So I had a great time with it. Add to that the fact that I think it is, a plot that's interesting and touches on, things we've seen before. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I really, really enjoyed this episode. It was kind of a bit calmer, a little bit like last week as well. It wasn't quite as 1,000 miles an hour. It just feels like the show has really found its groove. It's found its oomph. It's just settling into almost like not having to prove itself and just come up with some original adventures that are still very, very familiar. Like a lot of this is like stuff we've seen. It's almost like they get episodes from TNG and TOS and stuff and then just take half from there, and then make something completely new. So yeah. I really, really enjoyed it as well. We got to see I think the biggest cameo this week was Dr. Leah Brahms. Did you remember Leah Brahms?
No.
So I wonder if
just I could record that and I can just put it on a button.
Oh, do you remember that?
No, my reference meter is low. So yes,
referometer. Yeah, that makes sense. So Leah Brahms is the biggie one. So she appeared in 2 episodes of TNG, and this is the lady that Rutherford imagines, and she basically helped design the Enterprise D and helped to design the new warp core. And really, kind of creepily, Geordi creates a hologram of her to help him solve a problem, and then kind of gets a bit jiggy with her. And then a couple of seasons later, the real Leah comes to help with a problem and finds his program of her.
So that's a direct reference then, like her being a fantasy to a
100% to an engineer. Yeah, it's exactly the same. So she's kind of
engineer with an eyepiece. Like that makes
exactly.
Sense.
Yeah. So it was really fun to see like a follow up to that, and to get the same. I just love that they get the same actors back as well. I know I wouldn't have known the voice necessarily. It's very kind of. There's nothing too unique about it, but it's a really, really nice nod to bring everybody back. So the plot overall, I think my favorite part was, I think it's actually the Tendi stuff, which is interesting. It's that defining the science officer as not just somebody that knows all of the science, but has to be brave enough to stand up to the captain as well. Because the science officers always kind of get the short end of the stick. They have the answers, but the captain is always like, "Let's go! Enough of the science. Let's get on with it."
It's interesting that's your favorite. Like the B plot did nothing for me in this episode. Like I again, I'm always going to enjoy myself, but that plot line was really dry to me. Like it didn't seem to milk a ton of humor. A lot of the situational stuff that they cut back to with that plot line didn't really make me laugh. The whole fighting over the rock thing, it wasn't that funny to me. Like it was just like, I don't know. I think it was supposed to be one of those things that got funnier the longer it went, and it just never was funny to begin with to me. That. So that plot line was not my favorite, but yeah, I get what they were trying to do there. So. And that's probably why it's interesting to you, because it's more kind of technical and detailed oriented.
Yeah, it's the rock thing it didn't get me either. I see what they were going for, but it is just that idea that Spock is almost like the butt of the joke on the crew, even though he has the answers, and it's just that stereotype of the science officer. It's not just about science; it's about promoting science and saying, "Yeah, you want to shoot it with phasers, but." Here's the actual solution, and here's the more complex stuff that we're looking at. And scientists, by stereotypical nature, aren't the most forward of people. Like maybe they're not as forceful, when they're more like kind of sitting in the background. So she has to find that balance of, the science is right. I'm really confident about that, but being brave enough to push that forward. I love it when Star Trek does that.
There's too many sciences. There's too many sciences.
There is just the right amount of sciences. Yeah, just the right amount. So what else stood out to you from the episode, Aaron?
I love Paul F. Tompkins. I will listen to him in any character, in any situation. I think he is hilarious. So that was the one part about the B plot that I really did like, was more with his character, and I think that stuff is really fun. I like the way the wish me luck, wish me facts thing was interesting to me.
Oh, it's so good. I do that. I hate saying good luck. I hate it because I don't mean it. I don't want luck for you. I want success.
So let's go ahead and mark off the bingo board. Aaron wants to have a deep philosophical conversation. But the luck thing is an interesting one. As a person of faith, when I grew up, learning how God related to the world and different things like that, we were taught not to say luck, because there is no such thing as luck. Because if you have an omniscient, omnipotent God, then everything is intentional.
By design.
Everything is designed. So you would say, literally had a teacher at my Christian high school who, instead of good luck, said providential good fortune.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. I'm going to use that. Even though
but you don't believe that.
No, I don't believe that, but I love it. It's kind of a thing where it's like, wait, what?
I think you can take the providential part out and say good fortune, and kind of get there a little bit.
No, because my bottom line is, I would want to say something. Say like you have a sports ball thing that you're going to do and you want to do well. I would be good. I would want to say good skill. or
right,
like,
yeah.
play at your best or something like that.
So that's immediately what I thought was of providential good fortune instead of saying good luck. But it did it was interesting to me to say wish them facts instead of wish them luck, because I would think the idea of luck is much more comfortable, in the sciences than it is in dogma, right?
Okay.
So the idea that there is coincidence, or that something happens just because it happens, seems to be more comfortable in the sciences. So to go with wish them facts, I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, facts are important to science, but also luck is important to science. I mean, it's kind of the whole Big Bang is it just happened, guys. Like,
a lot of it is just that's weird,
right?
Rather than I was looking for that. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah. So
I found that interesting. That's really interesting. I love that as well.
Yeah.
I have a new nightmare now, which is clowns with batleth arms. What the? I love the minds of these people. Like, what's the most fucked up thing that we can find? Clowns with batleth arms and a Borg snake. Let's go.
Yeah. No, that was all good.
We want your distinctiveness.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, I love that so much. I both love and wish we had more of the big dragon creature that just appeared when they smashed all of the orbs initially, and there was that big super colorful dragon. That's from the original the animated series.
Oh,
because they
interesting.
could animate whatever the heck they want, so they use dragons quite a bit. I believe it's a Macaulay Culkin. It's a Macaulay Culkin dragon. Yeah, okay. It's a Coca can or something like that.
Release the Coca-Cola can.
Release the Coca-Cola can. Yeah, it's a Pepsi dragon. But yeah, I liked that, but I wanted more of it. But there's just every opportunity they always put. That was the one. Little nods.
That was the one that got the guy and turned him to stone, and he lost his arms.
Yeah, Ransom's cheerleader. Yeah, who I'd completely forgotten about, and I don't think he appears in season 2. I think they forgot about him. It's like, oh, he's back. He just likes to promote Ransom.
I love that character. I think that character's hilarious. But
no, I think he's funny. He's definitely a good cheerleader for Ransom. What else did we have in the episode? I think that's it. It was a pretty basic plot. Liked seeing the Hood again, which was the Excelsior class ship. I think it's Excelsior class, the one that's in orbit and did first contact and then left.
One of the things I did think was interesting and a little bit meta, which the show has done before, but the idea that that their ship is well known for all their shenanigans, and that leads to them having kind of a competition to see who could do better or whatever. It is really interesting to think of that, the fact that so much is happening to them, that the other parts of the fleet are just like, why are they always like, how are they always into stuff? You know, like asking that question. They even said something like, you're like the Enterprise, but for
the Cali class
ships or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, because the Enterprise would be the same way. It's like, how is the Enterprise always at the middle of all of this stuff?
Always in these shenanigans. Yeah.
So
it is true. And it's because it's a TV show, Aaron. I don't know if you realized, but it would be quite dull if we were following the ship that did nothing.
What? This is a what show?
I mean, I would love it to be a reality TV show, but it's not, sadly. Man, I want that show. I want to live on the Enterprise. I don't know that I actually do want to live on the Enterprise, but I feel like I do.
Yeah, well, that's how it starts.
Anything else from the episode?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, with that, everybody, it's probably going to be another short resistance as well, because it's a tricky show to send. But with that, let's head over to engineering for Resistance is Futile. This is the part of the show where we re-engage our sin brains, remind ourselves that no TV show is without sin, even our beloved Star Trek and the unsinnable lower decks. Commodore, you first, sir.
Why do they have to turn them into statues to data mine them? What is the if the goal is information? Why are we killing people, or at very most making them inert statues? That seems to draw attention that you wouldn't necessarily, like, you could data mine them, with just the fantasies, and they'll let them just hang out with their they'll probably want to hang out with their fantasies for a really long time. So then just get all the information you want. And am I misunderstanding something?
No, the longer they're alive, the better.
I don't understand the Medusa effect. Like, I don't understand what that does, other than maybe it's just like a natural thing this rock does, and they found this rock. But I got the sense that they were creating this system of rocks to do this thing.
I think the rocks exist, and then they manipulate them to do the bad stuff and to do the data mining and the recording. The only way it makes sense is if they are still alive and thinking while they're rocks.
Yeah.
But then the only thing you're going to be data mining is, oh my God, help me, I'm stuck in a rock. This is terrifying. Yeah. The massive thing that you're forgetting about that is the captain... oh, what's her name? I always forget her name. Beckett's mother. Captain... Help me out, Aaron.
I don't know. Mariner's her name, so...
Yeah, it's not her last name. Captain... Anyway, the captain of the Cerritos said, Captain's log, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand how this works. Which perfectly explains everything, Aaron.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my biggest sin of the episode is they blah, blah. Like, it's one of the dumbest things in writing is... I don't understand how any of this plot point works. Yeah, you wrote it, and now you're making a character also say something that you wrote to explain that you didn't think it through.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the beauty of Lower Decks as well. It is not designed to explain everything in a nice bow like Strange New Worlds. It's
that's not the goal.
It's fun here. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I just kind of questioned do you need 2 California class ships on this mission? Like, there's plenty of missions we've seen where...
You do for the plot line.
Well, right, exactly. Like, you need it for the plot, but I kind of wish it had been a bigger problem. But like, this did not need 2 people.
If you start thinking about what they're tasked to do...
Yeah, dismantle a ship.
Which is move rocks.
Yes. Carefully.
Yeah. That have dangerous repercussions if you give it... Why are any sentient beings doing this work?
Drones. Yep.
Yeah, there's no reason. So
just beam the rocks up and then just transport them into the thing.
If we're just doing garbage cleanup, but it's very dangerous garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Like super duper dangerous. That should not happen. No, you're absolutely right. But plot.
Right.
It had to happen. Okay, what's your next one?
Why did Boimler's fantasy drive up from the distance? Everybody else's fantasy just appears in a puff of green smoke. Like, it's not trying to fool them into, you know, but his starts in the distance, like a mile away, and drives up to him. Now I know the reason is, so we'll more believe that he believes it, because if it just appeared there, then we're not willing to go that far to think Boimler's that dumb that he would see it.
I don't know. I would have absolutely bought it. Or maybe it wasn't really far away. It was just a perspective thing. So it was just really, really tiny and then got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So maybe we didn't see the initial green puff. It just gets bigger.
Is fine. That is unlike everything else that happens with these rocks, but that is okay.
That happens.
But the other part of this that I think maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity, because I thought this might be where it was going, is that ended up being real, and Boimler missed out on a chance to be.
My goodness!
Wouldn't that have been hilarious?
That would have been so never funny.
Like you the camera pans around after everything's done, and that guy's still there, and he's
it's
like, "Well, I guess you didn't want this job," and he takes off before Boimler gets to accept it or whatever.
That would be incredible.
I thought that's where we were headed. I thought that was funny, but
we need Aaron to write for Lower Decks as well. Get him on board.
Deal. Give me a call. Let's go.
Yeah, it would have been great if they'd write. Well, Boimler, what's really weird is that you're immune to this effect. Your fantasy shouldn't have appeared. Oh no!
Yeah,
that's amazing. This is a really odd nitpick, but I don't like the cliche that Tendi is an Orion and turns her nose up at the worms, and it's this idea that everybody would think worms aren't tasty. I'm like, humans might not, but
there are plenty of humans that eat worms.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a cultural thing.
That's the strangest thing that she could have been offered to eat. It would have been, I was kind of expecting her to go, hey, let's chow down, let's go. Not Andorians. Orions always eat worms. It's great.
Yeah.
But I was getting super duper duper nitpicky.
Yeah.
But my next big one was that they can see each other's fantasies. So the whole fantasy thing, they must have a physical form. Because
for sure.
They could all be seen by everybody. So is it projecting. It's not projecting them. It's actually creating them out of matter.
Yeah.
Which then makes me wonder, why did the rocks stop them? Why couldn't they just apparate inside the cave? Why did the rocks
because
do
they're
anything?
made of stuff. That's why the rocks stopped them.
But then, was there something about the cave that stopped them appearing inside the cave?
Well, the rocks weren't inside the cave, were they?
Does that matter? Like, there didn't seem to be like a proximity thing.
No. But the rocks have to create the stuff.
Yeah.
So there would have to be a rock in the cave to create whatever would apparate in the cave.
I don't. I'm just amazed that I don't know. I don't think that
So think of them as 3D printers.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
So each of these rocks is like a 3D printer that specifies in your deepest desires and fantasies, right? So there were no 3D printers in the cave. So there was no way to print anything in there. But the stuff that had been printed outside the cave got stopped because it was a physical thing, couldn't get through the rocks. Okay. That's how I'm seeing it, at least.
Okay. But it still appeared out of thin air.
Yes, yeah. Yes, it's nanotechnology. You know, everything is nanotechnology.
I would still send the heck out of that.
Of course.
Okay, what have you got next?
Let's see. I already mentioned that arguing about who takes the rock didn't really do it for me. I probably would have found some way to send them for stealing the room with idea balls from Inside Out when they got into the middle of the cave.
Okay,
it's like Inside Out, but for data mining, you know, instead of emotions. So I probably would have done something like that.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to send that. That's amazing. I didn't have a huge amount else, to be completely honest. I mean, the big thing is they blah blah the entire ending of the story. I
might have this could be sinned all the time because it's a character thing, and so maybe that's why it wouldn't be sinned. But the bedside manner stuff is always so hilarious to me.
Oh man, I love it so much.
It was my favorite part. Like the funniest part of this episode
Dr.
is her just casually mentioning that the patient that's sitting right there is going to lose his appendage. Yeah. I loved that bit. That was great.
This guy's about to lose his foot and he's not crying. I'm going to lose my foot.
Yeah, so good.
There's no way she's coming in there with a chainsaw to take it off. I just wish we saw the end of that. Like, what does she actually do, or does she actually saw the foot off?
In what world does that? Do they need a chainsaw? What does a chainsaw do for them? Nothing. Why would they have a chainsaw on that ship? That makes no sense.
I don't know. You have to get through bulkheads and phasers. Either way, phasers do it better.
I was going to say, there's no need for a chainsaw. It accomplishes nothing that something else couldn't do.
That's incredible. Dr. Ta'ana really makes me think of Rick in Rick and Morty. She's the most Rick of all of the people.
Oh, yes. Very much.
I wish we would get more of her. I really, really do.
Yeah.
What did you think of the bird counselor? Do you remember him from season 1? I don't think he appeared much last season.
Oh, absolutely. Again, because I love Paul F. Tompkins. Like that's that character has always been one of my favorites. So I love his delivery, and I love the way he can play that thing that's like at the same time is completely arrogant and just completely missing the mark. Yeah. And he does the same thing in BoJack Horseman, and he's so great in BoJack Horseman. And I love Paul F. Tompkins. So yeah, I definitely remember that character.
I mean, I do wish the show was longer than 20 minutes because there is such a great cast here. And we only get to see little snippets of them. I was really hoping, and this is a sin, that there was I was really hoping that Rutherford, when he was being data mined, they were going to find the secret, because there was like some classified stuff, and I was hoping they were going to find what happened to him. They were going to dig into a memory that he doesn't have access to, that gave a little bit more of the secret to what's going on with him and his implant. But with 3 episodes in and they haven't referenced it, like, was it just a passing line in the finale, or do you think they're actually going to revisit that?
I think they'll revisit it. But I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know.
They may just never come up with it again.
Yeah.
I would love that as a little undercut. I think that's the only thing that might be missing is like a a through theme so
through
far,
line?
a through line of some
I don't miss
sort.
that at all.
No, I know you don't, but I'm beginning to realize I like it.
Well, I like it in some shows. I just don't want it in every show. I don't think every show needs it, and especially a 20-minute sitcom where I just tune in to smile and laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't need the through line. I was raised on shows never having a through line. Like that's something people forget is like TV shows were for the longest time designed that you could just watch an episode at any time, at any order.
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter. There was nothing linear about shows, at least on a micro level of the relationships like in Friends or whatever. Like there's that kind of stuff, but for the most part, you can watch any episode of Friends at any time.
Yeah,
or Seinfeld or whatever.
Yeah, very, very true. Maybe we're just getting old. Cool. Do you have anything else?
No. Maybe. I did have a little bit. This probably could be explained, but I just had a little bit of trouble understanding how the whole thing happened. Like the whole thing that they were trying to do started. So the thing we saw at the beginning, right? The guy that sees his geology teacher, or
in a toga,
in a very revealing toga.
Yes.
He is turned to rock.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to believe that's the inciting incident that gets the Federation involved, or are they already data mining at that point and they're data mining that person?
Because the scientists were in on
it. They're all in cahoots. So this is my question. When did they get in cahoots? How long have they been doing this? And how did that start?
Hey, rock people. And what is in it for the rock people? Like that is the big thing they blah blah. Is I guess they get more rocks.
The whole thing is blah. It's not even blah blah. It's just ignored. The whole idea of why this is what it is not addressed. And maybe it could be figured out, but I can't figure out, like, how did they start working together to data mine? Who made that suggestion? When did they make that suggestion?
Yeah.
And who was that person at the beginning? Was that meant to be before they started to team up together, or was that meant to be after?
Because there's no kind of 10 years later or 6 months later, we don't know when that initial thing happened. So I would imagine that's the first contact situation, because the scientists know about the orbs when we come to meet them. He's completely, oh, hey, this is interesting. Let's have a look at this. So it doesn't specify a time jump, but there must be a big time jump.
There's a scene with a whole bunch of scientist statues. You know, like it's not like it just happened to one person. So I get confused.
Man, that means they sacrificed some people.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand.
Yeah.
At some
maintain the
point,
impression.
Did one of them be like, hold on, my fantasy is to work with an alien race on data mining. Oh, wait, that sounds like a good idea.
Let's can do this. Oh, then it's Inception. And the whole thing, it wasn't about data mining. That was just one person's fantasy that they were all experiencing.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Man, no, that doesn't work. But we still love it anyway, regardless.
Yes.
Commodore, thank you for joining. I'm going to still get Ambassador Door. Commodore, thank you for joining us. Where can people find you, interact with you, and talk to you?
Oh, I don't. Just
don't interact.
It's really not worth your time. Really, honestly, I know. Listen, I know right now you are having this urge to figure out what else I do, where else you can hear my voice. Like you're like, oh man, I really wish I could hear. It's not worth it. I'm not worth it. But it's Aaron Dicer, so you can just search that on Twitter or whatever.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. I think we're definitely going to have you back for Strange New Worlds season 3.
Great. I love
if you're available.
Yeah, I loved doing Strange New Worlds. I'm happy to be on board for SNW.
Yeah, cannot wait for that. Coming next year. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you to everybody that joined us on the Twitch chat, on Captain's Pod Live, on Cinema Sins Live, and on CSPN on YouTube. So, come and join in next week. Monday at 12 p.m. I believe we're still doing it live next week. Yeah, we're doing it live next week. That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
I have all of that scripted and written down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But thank you for listening, everyone. My brain is going to explode with science.
And stop looking at my heart rate from me.
I really wanted to say, stop looking inside me. But, yeah. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
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 Brunch.
Okay, people. Yes, Ian is such a good captain.
It's true.
Such a good captain.
Very true.
Thank you. But yeah, Ian actually lost his page of notes, which had that written down. So he was like, yeah, you can do this off the top of your head. That's absolutely
you got
fine.
This. You got this.
He didn't accidentally close that window. That didn't happen. It's amazing. Yeah. No, the reason I had to question whether we're going live again, well, we are going live again, but I think the week after next,
Correct.
we are doing some traveling. So there won't be a live show. And then we'll pick it up the following week when we get back. So I didn't want to, but I'll clean that up in the edit. It's all good. Cool. We've got some time for a few questions.
Let's do it.
Most important thing first, burrito.
That's so funny. I Dorito is what I would go with. But
USS Doritos.
Yes.
We need a burrito emote. The Twitch chat is just going to be Danae bringing up burritos even more.
Yeah. The USS Frito.
Fritos? From Zinc Stout. Question for consideration. Ian and Aaron and Danae in brackets. What would your fantasy rock show you to put you off your job? Aaron, you first. So you're hard at work, you're writing, you're sinning.
Right.
What does the rock show you to distract you?
Yeah.
A pun.
Yes, the perfect pun.
A really good pun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. A really good wordplay.
And then you just immediately get back to work and work that into the script.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. Danae, you go next, Danae. We'll wait. We'll just hit here and wait for you to type out your answer.
the entire delay. Whatever the delay is for your answer.
Oh, wait, hang on. Did she get it that quick? Rock
David
show.
Bowie.
Having not seen the episode, I'm saying David Bowie. That would be super duper distracting.
Yeah.
Having him turn up and just have a little jam session. That'd be amazing.
It would probably more accurately for me be like real life Pixar characters to interact with or whatever. Like all of a sudden the Incredibles are there to hang out with.
Woody just turns up and just have a chat with him. You know,
I imagine often with these rocks a Woody just turns up, but
yeah.
I would imagine that's a normal thing.
I think mine was dangerously close to what Boimler's fantasy was. It's Captain Picard on a thing. I jump in the side, go, just come with me, we must defeat the Borg. Basically, just give me a holodeck, or it would be like, here's your uniform, Ian. Jump into uniform. You're my first officer. It would happen.
Yep.
I wish. Yes. Thank you, Zinkstoke, for giving me the correct spelling, but that doesn't help me pronounce it. I still don't know what to call Culkin. But yes, apparently that dragon thing, Nimoy and Shatner recorded dialogue separately and pronounced it totally differently, which is hilarious. I haven't seen that episode in a long time, so I'll have to rewatch that. But that is hilarious if true. Jonathan, is that our Jonathan?
That's Eddie Watts, baby.
Hey, Eddie Watts. I want to see the Klingon clowns from outer space now. How do they work? It would be incredible. Battler farms are terrifying.
Yeah. Yep.
JCD says, I remember reading a fan theory of how no one read the Enterprise's logs because they are far too ridiculous to be believed. That's very possible. That's very possible. We have an explanation as well from JCD of the of why Dr. Tana would have the chainsaw. Now imagining a chainsaw in case of emergency break glass case. And I just love that. Please state the nature of the medical.
Yeah.
You just never know when you might need one.
Still doesn't make sense.
It still doesn't make sense. No. But Zinkstoke does have an actual answer. It's a Starfleet bone saw. It even had the Delta symbol on it. And I don't think that's a joke. I think that's actually true. I think it actually had that writing on it and we just missed it. It's amazing. What else do we have here? Okay. Ideal Star Trek crew based off of all the different Treks. Aaron hates fantasy casting.
Mine would be Shatner's Kirk.
Wrong.
Nimoy's Spock. Probably DeForest Kelly as Bones. Let's see. Yeah. Uhura. Yeah, I'd want Uhura. Scotty. I'd want Scotty. Yeah.
So you basically just got the original crew.
Oh, you caught on to that,
Is
did you?
that really what you're doing? No imagination. This would take me far too long. I think it would really quickly. It's going to be Captain Janeway, then Commander Riker, Tuvok at security, Geordie in engineering, everybody, then Cisco on the bridge as well. I'm just going to start naming everyone. Stamets in engineering, Boimler on the bridge. I want everybody. I want a big old ship where everybody comes in and has a play. And what is that too much to ask?
Is there a Star Trek version of the game Clue? Because when you said Boimler on the bridge, it just made me think of a Star
Boimler on the bridge with a bone saw.
Yeah, with the bone saw.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yes, there is actually in Voyager. We talked about it last week. Tuvok has to figure out who murdered somebody, and it turns out he did it. Which is beautiful. Nice. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we have a few more. Ian, say that word.
Aluminium.
Aluminium, yeah.
Yeah, I know how you say that word.
It's easy. Chris Batkinson was saying a really good pun would rock Aaron's world.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah, that's it.
Totally.
Slight chuckle from Aaron. And done. I thought you were going to press a button that gave us a laugh there.
No, I actually don't have a laugh on here. Mm-mm.
Amazing. Right. Well, I think that's about everything from everyone. Thank you for listening, everybody. We are going to take you. Did anybody get ready to raid into anybody? Because Ian forgot to do that.
Did anybody get ready to raid into anybody? Yeah. This just got really
wow. They got really. I've just noticed. Like genuinely, I'm not logged in to the.
You aren't logged into Twitch.
No, I'm not logged into Twitch. This is amazing. This is incredible. Hey, just hang out with us for a little bit, guys, while I do this.
Let's maybe do some more rock puns.
I mean,
while Ian is getting into Twitch, do some more rock puns. I would do some, but I'm stoned right now, so I don't. They're not coming to me very quickly.
Man, that took me far too long. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Vamp Aaron, Vamp. What's great is that I also have to get like a verification code.
Well, Danae is saying the Moco's live, so you at least have an option once you get there. Oh, you need I can do it on this. I think I've got this
if you're already logged in, that'll be great.
I'm already logged in on this.
If not, Danae, you need to hand me the
No,
the thing.
I'm logged in here, so. Oh wait,
have you got some music going now?
Well, you can hear what my computer does. So let's see. I'm apparently logged in as me, though.
This is amazing. Fun fact, it was aluminium originally in England, but they decided it didn't sound fancy enough, so they changed it in the and the US didn't. I will fact check that. Yeah, I don't think that's true.
The question is, which browser sign-in am I logged in through?
No. This is amazing.
There it is. I found it. I found it. Okay, so I will go to video. Sorry.
Mute it.
I will go to video producer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Stream manager.
Yeah, there's a big old massive raid button.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we are seconds away.
Wow, guys.
Guys.
Raid channel.
Moco
Mate's live. How about that one?
No prompting needed.
All right, so do I click start raid now?
Start raid now. Okay.
All right,
you're going to be over with the Moco Mate people. Love you guys.
9 viewers ready. 11 viewers ready to raid. 14 viewers are ready to raid.
Let's go raid.
It doesn't. It's back ready to raid in 2 seconds. Okay, raid now. 14 viewers are ready to raid. Raid now.
Raid. Do it. Make it so.
All right. I think
we love you guys.
I think I raided. So that means we can go now.
Amazing. Yep.
I think I did that right.
I think we can now end broadcast.
Okay. Love you all.
Thank you.